we wanted to turn this somewhat random fruit that everyone in Maputaland knows into this. But to pull it off, we needed an expert, so we brought in Roushanna.
My name is Roushanna Gray. I am founder and educator at Fil from Cape Town. At Fil we teach about foraging, what you can find in the wild for food, flavour and medicine.
She didn't come alone. She brought her husband Tom, a surfing, Latin slinging botanist, and with him were Fil and Brian, filmmakers and incredible nature photographers. But there was one problem: they knew nothing about Maputaland. So we had to show them, and luckily we had the perfect guide, Mbugeni Mieni, or as everyone knows him, MB. I quickly realized that my Latin naming would never match Tom's.
You live here.
It was impressive to see him just absolutely throwing out these names. And MB was really keeping up.
Soroya, Trichnospinosa,
Duranian,
Gloria,
the Milanus, it's Canvalia.
that's Stelios,
Is that an indigofera?
Crassula alba,
See your morning glory.
Walbekium.
Wallenbergia,
This is a type of Crassiandra, Tracheandra.
a Crassula.
Small class.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's because they're Lepre, because it's Gadoxus, Phil. Gadoxinum. Oh, there's the Gloriosus. Random who?
Amidst all these Latin names, activities like walking to the beach, which should usually take 15 minutes, were now taking 3 hours. Although, to be fair, Tom wasn't the only one getting in depth with nature. Fil and Brian were making sure to capture every single flower they saw. They have this neat technique where they use a black cloth to block the light and take these insane photos of flora and fauna. If you like this, check my plants on Instagram.
A proper soldier ants.
And thanks to Fil for supplying these photos. And while plants and grasses are apparently delectable, to truly taste the landscape we needed to experience more than just grassland country.
It's grassland country.
So we went snorkeling. The thing about the Kosi River Mouth is that it's quite a shallow snorkeling spot, but it's home
to 70 different species of fish.
although some of those are a bit spiky.
You mustn't stand at all. Else you got the likes of lionfish, scorpionfish and stonefish.
So it's quite a challenging spot to snorkel, as you need to not touch anything and somehow get a good look at things underwater. And I got a lot of footage of people bumping into each other. There was an absolutely insane amount and variety of fish down there. These are actually fish. They're called the robust coast pipefish. The Cape Town crew seemed to be shocked most of the time. And then we really got caught up in it. These are the fish kraals. They make the Kosi Lakes unique. These 1,000-year-old fish kraals have been used for generations, a sustainable fishing method that has stood the test of time. Sitting in the lakes, where the water flows with the tides, these fish kraals use the currents to guide fish into these enclosures. They are owned and maintained by generational fishing families, with knowledge passed down over centuries, making it one of the oldest fishing traditions in the world. This is our guide Fana, who is one of those generational fishermen. He gave us a tour of the fish traps and an in-depth explanation about how they work. This is where we get all our fish from for BigSkies, and so of course we had to try some very fresh fish, and they supplied us with the best local meal I've had to date, outside of camp obviously. That being the stump nose fried on this fire. Fana ran us through the
So it's
rest.
just a walnut. Alright. Yeah, it's a cornbread and a bit of cheese inside. And some fruit, juice, and this is palm wine.
Yay!
Are we talking?
Right, so the palm wine is coming from this tree.
The gang really seems to appreciate the palm wine a lot.
There's some really good palm wine.
By this point, Roushanna seemed to be in her flow, having tasted a few different parts of the Maputaland landscape.
One of the beautiful things about nature is that the more you learn, the more there is to learn.
And so we were going to head back to camp. But wait, last time we were here, during Tonga Trails, we didn't see any turtles, so we thought we'd try again. This time, we were hoping for better luck. The local turtle guide, Agrippa Shange, really loves turtles, and he ran through a few talking points.
And obviously you have the staff working in a camp, you have the community. So the learning starts when they dig up to the surface. And thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Holy shit, guys. We did end up finding a turtle.
The small one, yeah.
The small loggerhead. It was so beautiful to witness this tradition, which has also been going on, not just for thousands, but millions of years. And just like that, she was gone. I wish I'd had the chance to interview everyone directly after that sighting, because people were so excited to have seen such a beautiful and ancient act. Feeling inspired, it was time to head back to camp, where Roushanna and I would be putting pen to paper. She was figuring out recipe ideas and going over the menu with our chef in Toms.
Just got that sight on camera, it's good stuff, you know.
I was figuring out how to interview someone, because apparently I needed to work on it.
I think your interviewing skills need some work. Well, you just zoom in on me.
There were one or two distractions, namely snorkeling and surfing down at Lalane, but once we got done with those, it was time to jump into the interview. Despite my warnings that it was a bad time to do the interview, James insisted we do it. Meanwhile, David said that James, as the MD of BigSkies, should run the interview, but he was completely unprepared.
Yeah. I'm gonna blow this thing out the ground.
We are rolling.
Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna start back at the top.
Well, it seemed the weather had other plans.
Maputaland's telling us we're done here. Not even... Yo, it's raining.
Amazing. Wow.
So I'm here anyway.
Anyway, it was a fun first interview, and she promised we'd do another the next day. And so it was finally time. I get to interview my first person ever. I'd practiced the night before, and this time we'd just be going over my questions with no meddling from my bosses who backed off. What are your impressions of Maputaland?
Unspoilt wilderness. There's magic in every pocket and every corner that you go. There's something new to learn every half an hour, if not every few minutes. Yeah, and this is just me being here for 1 week. So I'm sure everything shifts and changes as any time of the year that you come here, you'll experience something new, whether it's the weather or the flavor. And I love to look at landscapes in terms of flavor, and it's delicious here.
Sadly, I can't share more of the interview. My bosses want a shorter video, but I really like that segment. And hey, if this video gets enough likes, maybe I'll publish more of it. The Felton Sea team had a final breakfast and left shortly after.
Bye.
And things returned to normal in the camp. Except now they were different, because our menu was going through some updates, and our welcome drink would never be the same again. Oh, and we got some new friends who just had a taste of Maputaland, but there was evidence that they would be back for more.
We're coming back.
Anyway, join us next time as we embark on an overlanding adventure with some of South Africa's biggest 4x4 YouTubers, and see if we can go from this to this in a few hours.